Welcome to Oilers Nation Everyday with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
Back on home ice and ready to start a big game heater. Oh, they're playing the best team in the NHL. Let's get into it with the lead. Jesper Wallstedt has allowed 5 goals in his last 5 games, so I will make a bold proclamation. The heater starts after this game.
Oh, does it start tonight?
Maybe the Oilers will surprise us.
Based off probability, 50-50 chance.
They're either going to win or they're not. The Oilers have a 50% chance of winning this hockey game. We have a 100% chance of having a great damn show. Welcome into Oilers Nation Everyday. We are live from the Sports Closet studio and sportscloset.ca. Get all your holiday shopping done for the sports fan in your life. We are also a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. I got beef with Pat Puff.
Oh, wow.
Unbowling related. I know. We do our betting challenge on Daily Faceoff.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I took the over between Winnipeg and Buffalo. The line was 6, finished 5-1. So I got a push.
Yeah.
Pat Puff gives me negative units on the show today.
No.
That's a push, player.
No. Did you get your money back on Bet365?
You better believe I did.
There you go. Yeah,
Couldn't believe it. So anyways, that distracted me off the jump because I texted Pat and was like, you need to give me that unit back, buddy.
He's cheating.
And he goes, you might have a point. Yeah, no shit, Pat. Figure it out, Puff. Anyways, we got a loaded show coming your way today. Jeff Marek is going to join us on the Star Mechanical guest line in about 10-15 minutes time. Jay will eventually be here for his game day duties. Chair's empty. But he told us ahead of time 12:45 today. So Jay will be by 12:45. He'll join us for the back part of the show. Louie DeBrusk at 1 o'clock. So we got a whole loaded up thing ready to go today.
We're ready to rock here. I've taken 3 allergy meds. And
What are you allergic to right now?
Dairy.
Stop eating dairy.
But I love a good coffee in the morning.
Dude, I'm not even lactose intolerant, and I just use almond cream.
Yeah, but I have to go to McDonald's.
Okay, get soy.
No, that's crazy. I can just take 3 allergy pills and be fine. Maybe. But then I also got a chicken McMuffin, sorry, and that's cheese on it. So
you're doubling down.
I fully understand this is my own doing. I'm not disputing that at all.
Yeah.
At home, I have multiple dairy-free options.
Yeah.
But I got paid yesterday. I was like, I want a coffee today.
We got paid yesterday?
I got paid from my other job
Oh.
Multiple incomes. Liam,
Thanks.
also a new set piece behind you.
yesterday. Banana. My mom got me this banana last Christmas. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to put it on the set. So last night when everyone was away, I snuck in like a little elf. And threw it on the shelf. Eli was here. No, it wasn't that sneaky. I just remembered I brought it and threw it on. It's a pretty good addition, I think.
Yeah, I think it looks sharp. I like more lights. More lights, the better.
Yeah.
I do a lot of LED lights in my house.
You do?
Yeah.
Right behind your TV, I've seen them.
Yeah.
Like this one. They are on.
They're on. And then, you've never seen my basement. I got even more in my basement.
I've seen your basement.
Really? You've never been over. I invite you over all the time. You keep saying no.
Got there. I got ready in your basement.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You were in my wedding party.
Yeah.
That was just so long ago. Who could remember? Anything to not talk about Jesper Wallstedt.
Yeah. Look, guys.
It's not good.
The kid's pretty good. We'll get into our goalie report later on.
He has a .938 save percentage this year.
I refreshed and made sure the game inputs I had to find out his stats in our goalie report were correct.
Yeah.
At least 3 times because they are, quite frankly,
stunning,
insane.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
But I'll tell you this for free.
Mm-hmm.
He's allowed 2 goals from behind the net today and a 0 save percentage from below the goal line.
How is that?
Leon Draisaitl goal, anybody?
Ooh, I like that.
I'll tell you how they happened. He came out of his crease and the puck was bouncing around and they shut off his back and it went in. Not only did it happen once, it happened twice. Owen Tippett and someone on the Kings. I think it was Kuzmenko, maybe.
Oh, I'm looking at waivers. Kevin Rooney's on waivers from Utah today.
Former Flame.
Correct, former Calgary Flame.
Kevin, do we have any interest?
No.
No, nothing on Kevin Rooney.
Not when you have Connor Clattenburg at home.
That's true.
Oilers posted a beautiful photo of him at morning skate.
Did they?
Looking dashing. I feel like, sometimes I think, you know what? We're maybe a little, also, I need to get better slippers. People don't need to see this much sock. That's bad. That's a tough
it's your
look.
pants that are the problem. There you go. But yeah, we're literally wearing the same pants and basically the same slippers, and I do not have the problem.
No, your slippers come up a little bit more. You see the whole back of my foot. Yeah. I do have like more moccasin-looking ones.
Bring them in. That's what Eli wears, no? You wear moccasins, Eli?
No, those are not moccasins. Those
are they not?
Those are like Birkenstocks.
Birkenstocks. Yeah. Sorry, I thought they were all the same.
We got a comment in the YouTube chat. Wallstedt is due for a big loss from @PopeLuigi. Hilarious. Last time Jesper Wallstedt gave up more than 3 goals in a game was October 26th against the San Jose Sharks. He allowed 6 goals on 25 shots. It is the only time this season his save percentage has been below .905 in a hockey game. So, yeah. I mean, maybe we can go back to my old analogy of you walk up to the roulette table. It's been red 8 in a row. You don't bet on red. You bet on black. It's been a lot of thumbs up for Philip Gustafsson and the Minnesota Wild as of late, but it is worth noting that there was a time that things weren't going all that well for them. They had a really, really poor start to the season, and terrible. So this one is from Michael Menzies in the game notes, but they won just 3 of their first 12 games. Now they haven't lost in regulation in 26 days. They haven't lost in regulation since November 6th against the Carolina Hurricanes. When you look at who the hottest teams are in the NHL, it is Minnesota and Colorado. They are the only 2 teams in the league to have not suffered a regulation loss in their last 10 games. What Minnesota's doing is very, very impressive. They're a very damn good hockey team, and it's from the crease on out. Like, they are not scoring at an insane clip or anything like that. 77 goals scored on the year. That ranks them, I think it ranks them like middle of the pack in the Western Conference this season. They win games on the strength of their goaltending. And where I think that makes it interesting for the Oilers tonight to go super serious analyst mode, this will be a really good test for a team that shoots themselves in the foot a lot.
Yeah.
You can't do that against Minnesota. You are probably, and as I say this in my head, I go, man, the Oilers might just win 6-5 tonight because sports are unpredictable and the game's not played on paper. But like, you probably need to win this game tonight 3-1, 2-1, 3-2, somewhere in that range. I don't think you can make a couple of mistakes and have this thing turn into a shootout because you're just probably not going to beat Jesper Wallstedt 5 times tonight.
So here's Wallstedt's numbers in September. 2 goals, 27 shots against.
Wait.
November. Mm-hmm. Wallstedt. Did I say Wallman?
No, you said September. Weren't playing games then.
No, we weren't. November.
Yeah.
November. 2 goals against, 27 shots against. No goals against, 36 shots against. No goals against, 28 shots against. 3 goals against, 45 shots against.
Whoa.
3 goals against, no goals against, 32 shots against. Last game out against Colorado Avalanche, who put up 9 against the Edmonton Oilers. 2 goals against, 41 shots against. It's like, well, again, maybe we should just get to the goalie report right now since we're into it.
Yeah, we're already kind of deep in the shits here.
Let's pull up the zones, Aaron. It is incredible. Like, where are you scoring? You literally have to, behind the net. You have to get in the crease on him. Clearly, it's a weakness. It's the only one. He hasn't allowed a goal outside of the face-off dots this season.
That's insane.
That is crazy.
You're right. Yeah, he hasn't allowed a goal from the perimeter, more or less.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a better way to
put it. Who knows if maybe there's a deep shot from the blue line, but I'm assuming any shot that came from the blue line also had a ton of traffic. So, he hasn't... You can honestly look at this and be like, the guy hasn't allowed a weak goal all year, except for one of the 2 behind the net.
Which, those were the only ones. And they were locked, and they basically were he was falling back into his net. They hit it off his back. It goes in.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, for podcast listeners, he has 33 for 33 on the left dot, outside of the left dot on the perimeter, 36 for 36 on the other side, and then from the point, 100% again.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And if we pull up his frontal view, Aaron, if you don't mind.
His full frontal, yes.
Perfect on the ears, perfect in the chest, perfect basically everywhere.
But 0 for 2 off his own ass.
Yeah, 0 for 2 off his own bum, which I would assume is going with the 85% in the 5 hole. It's literally his only weakness in his 85% save percentage in his 5-hole. Like, that's his lowest.
He's really, really good.
He's playing so good. And the others are going to have to work hard to beat him. Like, I try and pull out a weakness in these guys, but I really don't know what you do. You just have to get to the net, essentially. Cause a bit of chaos.
So you know how whenever you talk shit about a goalie, they end up playing really, really well?
Maybe, hopefully this is the opposite.
Yeah, maybe we got a little reverse here, a little reverse jinx coming from you. But if I can poke holes in the Minnesota Wild, over this 10-game stretch, where, again, they've not lost in regulation in their last 10 games, they've allowed the most shots in the NHL in their last 10 games at 5-on-5, and it's not even particularly close. It's like 262, and then there's a drop-off of 11 shots to get to second worst in the NHL. So they do allow a lot. Despite the fact they are 32nd in the league in shots against at 5-on-5 over their last 10, they have the least amount of goals against, and expected goals against, the numbers are also like pretty good. So maybe that's a part of it as well, like keeping teams to the outside. They're also not going to give you a lot of freebies. But for the Oilers, I think where a pressure point for them in this hockey game is they and I get the Seattle game was a nice step forward and they won 4-0 and there's plenty of good. We went through it all yesterday. There's still a lot of perimeter play.
Yeah.
Still a lot of situations where they cycled and cycled and cycled and then turned over the puck and chipped out to the neutral zone by the Kraken. Like, Edmonton needs to be a little bit more prepared here to go to dangerous areas because, as you mentioned, Wallstedt, 100% from the left-hand side, 100% from the right-hand side, but he's 70-some% from right in front of the net. If you're not willing to go to the crease and do all those cliche greaseball things of, like, deflect pucks, jam it rebounds, create some chaos, if you're not doing that, you are absolutely getting shut out tonight. And last time the Oilers played on home ice, it was really, really ugly. If Minnesota gives up shots, I have no doubt if you're the Oilers that you can play a good puck possession game and play a little keep away in the offensive zone and do all that stuff that the Oilers do. But if you are not willing to get to dangerous areas tonight on Jesper Wallstedt, you are losing this game 5-0.
And even when you look at that Seattle game, like, look where they did get the goals from. Like, I know the Hyman one's lucky, but you're in the right spot. Draisaitl finds his way to the middle of the ice. Like, they just need to find that consistency in their ability to score because they're more than capable of doing it on a night-to-night basis. It's just sometimes they love to push themselves out to the side, like you said. And I think defensively they were a bit better last game. It wasn't as chaotic, I think, is a better way to put it. Like, you're going to give up chances. It's the NHL at the end of the day, but you can't give up too many if you're going to struggle to score. Mm-hmm. And not based off their performance, but based off like who they're going to go up against tonight.
Yeah. Dalks is in and says, Stu is always crap coming out of a shutout, and we're playing against a beast of a goalie tonight. Stu's always crap coming off a shutout, except for all of those times in the playoffs where he posted back-to-back shutouts. You're right. If you ignore all the good games, Stu Skinner is always bad coming off a shutout. So, yeah, I guess there's reason to be concerned. Again, that's just what pisses me off is when people are like, you know what I should do? I should make something up, and then they just make something up.
So coming out of a shutout this year, Stuart Skinner obviously played the New York Islanders, allowed 3 goals and 24 shots, but if you remember those games, that was the Evan Bouchard disaster game.
Yeah.
Last season, if we just do a quick scan here, shutout, end of the season against San Jose, went into the LA game, played terribly, so fair enough on that one.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the playoff ones. I'm not going to call anyone an idiot this time.
LA Kings, 30 save shutout. Next game, win. 3 goals against. I think if you're allowing 3 goals against you, I would say you're giving your team the opportunity to go and win.
Unless Jesper Wallstedt's the other goalie.
Unless Jesper Wallstedt is
the
other goalie.
Anyways, is our first guest here? All right. We'll continue to just wax poetic about Jesper Wallstedt. 0
save shutout against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Remember that one? He played 1 minute, 16 seconds.
Oh, because Pickard got yanked for the concussion spotter.
Yeah, that was a disaster for Pickard. That wasn't fair.
Gord says, I'm more afraid of how good Minnesota is. And yeah, again, like that's totally fair. I will say, again, to reiterate a point, if you missed the start of the show, like they're on an incredible run right now. They're averaging under 2 5-on-5 goals per game in this 10-game heater. They have 19 5-on-5 goals in this 10-game stretch where they're 8-0-2. Like, they're allowing less than 1 5-on-5 goal against. Minnesota thrives on playing good defense and letting their goalies cover up for the, we'll call it, few mistakes that they make. But I don't know, they're top 10 in scoring chances allowed in the last 10 games. High danger looks, that number is top 10 as well. Like, the Oilers will be able to, like, The Oilers will get chances to create. And the reason I phrase it like that is because they need to do more than just get the puck in the offensive zone and zip around a few passes. Like, they just got to be ready to do some greasy work. Connor Clattenburg, anytime goal? He's the only one who goes to the goddamn net.
I wouldn't go that far. But
I know.
He should have scored the other day.
Yeah. He almost had his second goal.
He did. It's crazy.
Anyways, let's get out to the Star Mechanical Guest Line. It's Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more about what gives them that name and that title by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca. As we welcome in our friend Jeff Marek from The Sheet. Jeff, we just spent 15 minutes previewing the Oilers and Wild, and boy, it would be nice if the Oilers had someone like Jesper Wallstedt. Hey, how do you get those guys?
I don't know. Maybe you don't trade a pick and you just stick on it and take the goal. Whatever happened to Xavier Bourgault anyhow? Listen, no manager gets out clean. The draft. I remember talking to Doug McLean about this. Like, the thing that managers always hate is, and everyone does this. Like, I've done it. We've done it at Daily Face-Off. The Athletic has done it. You know what general managers really, really hate to see on websites? The redrafts are the one thing Doug would always have, like, oh, this would always pop up, and all of us would be like, oh yeah, okay, like, so everybody knows, everyone's going to turn out. You're right about Wallstedt, though. He's been fantastic, and I'll tell you why I'm happy for him. Because last year it was very much in doubt whether this guy was going to pan out. Like, the American Hockey League for goaltenders you can make the argument, guys, that it's an even more difficult league than the NHL. NHL, you're getting clean passes, clean shots. Everything's faster, everything's harder, but it's much more of a professional, slick game. You still get a lot of, like, broken plays in the American Hockey League and shots from places that you're not really expecting. Pucks are going off toes and heels and this part of the stick, and like it's more of a scrambly game, because essentially the American Hockey League, you can make the argument, is the finishing school for the NHL. That's where you learn how to play the defensive side of the puck. It's still not as polished, obviously, as the NHL. It's a reasonable hand-drawn facsimile, but for a goaltender, you're not getting pucks from where you expect to get them from. But having said that, Wallstedt had a really bad year last year in the American Hockey League. So it was not a guarantee that this goaltender was going to show up for Minnesota, but he's been fantastic. Here's the other one that I want to bounce off you guys. Is the longest time, my answer to this has always been the Vegas Golden Knights. But is there a team right now this season who has had more consistently entertaining games than the Minnesota Wild? Like, every time I watch, because I'm like you guys, like, I'm bouncing around every single night. Every single time I get to a Minnesota game, I park it there for a long time. I just find this team, and it doesn't matter who the opponent is. You know, like that old saying in boxing, like, styles make fights. I believe that for hockey teams too. But there's something about the way the Minnesota Wild plays that just produces really fun hockey games, whether they're winning or whether losing. I'm always entertained this year watching the Minnesota Wild, which is weird because I'm the guy that remembers the Jacques Lemaire Minnesota Wild, where everybody had bungee cords attached to their hockey pants, and if they got too deep in the offensive zone, the coach would pull them back into the neutral zone. I love watching Minnesota. It's a fun team to watch. That's all I'm trying to say.
The other team is probably the Montreal Canadiens.
Look what I had pulled up on my computer. I was looking. I was like, man, I've watched so many Montreal games this year that have been just like wildly entertaining, but for a totally different reason. Whereas like Minnesota is like, it feels like a playoff game because it's tight and it's always going to come down to one goal. But Montreal is just like, someone's scoring 7 tonight. It's either the Habs or the other team. Like, let's go.
Bingo. But that underlies, like, that sort of betrays one fact this year so far in the NHL season. The better hockey's played in the West this year. Again, we're a quarter of the ways in, but anyone who watches both, anyone who covers this thing nationally, will admit the better hockey. For everybody watching and listening in the East, the better hockey so far this year is being played in the West. And you see the evidence. Look at all the leading scorers. Look at the dynamic young goaltenders. Like, all of it. All the like, there is a separation here now that we're seeing in the West. Not so much in the East. East is more focused on, I don't know, what you call it, mediocrity, I suppose. Parity is another word for it. Where in the West, it's like, we got teams here. Like, we got Colorado. We got Dallas. We got Minnesota. Like, They got team here. Like East isn't hanging in the higher rent district right now at the West. Not at all.
I just want to go somewhere back quickly to the 2021 draft before we stray too far away from it. What do you
General
remember?
managers, pay attention. General managers, pay attention.
What do you remember about that draft? Because obviously, like, it was the COVID draft. The OHL didn't even play. Guys played, I think it was the World Championships or the U17s, whatever it ended up being. There was a report, too, that the Oilers didn't even interview Wyatt Johnston, who obviously went to pick after they ended up taking Xavier Bourgault. But that was basically the Wild Wild West in a way, right? Because half the players didn't even play.
It was. That was one of those drafts that really tested the mettle of your amateur scouts. And I'll tell you, so he doesn't get a lot of headlines. I'm glad you brought up Wyatt Johnston, because one of the people, like when the book is written on this era of NHL and NHL teams, and we'll see where the Dallas Stars go. They could win the Stanley Cup this year. They could have said that about them last year too. They got to get past the Edmonton hurdle. Joe McDonnell. Joe McDonnell is the head of amateur scouting for the Dallas Stars and has been for a number of years. I can recall him coaching the Kitchener Rangers in the 90s. Coached Todd Warner, coached a lot of really good players. Joe McDonnell and his staff, because it's not just the drafting, but it's also the development staff as well. Like, we'll look back on the draft where they picked off, Heiskanen and Ottinger and Jason Robertson in the second round, right before the Florida Panthers, who wanted to take him, and there was slamming of books on the desk. Joe McDonnell, as much as we talk about what Dallas has done and all the players and the great job that Jim Nill has done putting this together, the pipeline of your organization, or your organization, is generally always going to be how many players can your amateur scouts put in your organization to develop. And for that, I'll defer to Rich Peverly, who does a great job on the development side with a lot of these practices. But make no mistake about it, the scouting staff that the Dallas Stars have, and sure, like Heiskanen was a high pick, but the way that they've been able to pick off players up and down the draft is a real masterclass at how to do it. And because you're not just watching players in their draft year or a year before, like, you start to build the bio years and years before. And that was someone, Wyatt Johnston, that they really stumped for, that amateur staff really felt really passionately about. And now it's to the point where, and I know he had a real frustrating playoffs last year. I don't ultimately think that he makes it, but can you not make the case right now for Wyatt Johnston with Team Canada?
I think the cases for guys like Johnston and, in a different part like Bedard and Celebrini, the cases for those guys are almost easier if Austin Matthews scores on Jordan Binnington in overtime. Because then Canada's sitting here in a full-fledged, like, we need to be way different than we were at the Four Nations. We need to. We only scored twice in that final game. Like, we need goals. Because they won. Yeah.
But the one lesson, though, and again, will Hockey Canada learn it? I don't know. But, like, if you look at, Salt Lake City to Torino, like, that was a big lesson for Hockey Canada because they were too loyal. They were too loyal to the Salt Lake guys that got them there. Remember, they left off Crosby? And it's like, no, these guys did it once and they're going to be able to do again. Like, the lesson of being too conservative when it comes to national hockey is a lesson that continues to get served up to countries here. And then the next thing we saw was Sochi, and the idea was, don't worry about trying to build the team. Just assume that skill can adapt to any position. Just get the best combination of players. And if you're a great player, you can adapt to any position and any environment. And that became the motto for Hockey Canada. So I don't know that Hockey Canada is still or should be in the loyalty business. And that's why the Jordan Binnington question is fascinating. Because if you believe in loyalty, he should be on the team and get the start. But if you look at the Jordan Binnington, and even like we've been really kind to Jordan Binnington, even in that tournament, the Four Nations, like he had the great final. Make no mistake about it. He was excellent. But leading up to that, there is always that one goal in every Canadian game where we went, ooh, that can't happen in the final. And to Jordan Binnington's credit, it didn't happen in the final. But at what point does your loyalty end? Even though you just saw him win at the Four Nations. I
think you give him the first start, and you probably don't give him another one. Yeah, you don't give him another one after.
But what if it's like would it be crazy to suggest that after all the things that we've talked about all summer long, all fall long about Canadian goaltending, based on what we're seeing now this season, would it be ridiculous if the three goaltenders were Darcy Kemper, Scott Wedgwood, and Logan Thompson? After all that we've talked about.
I know.
After all we've talked about, guys.
Well,
I don't think it will, but we're doing it's a hockey podcast Tuesday afternoon. Like, would it be the worst possible thing?
Well, the one thing about Wedgwood too, obviously he would be the third goalie. Mm-hmm. He knows how to step in if you ever need him cold.
Yeah,
I know you wouldn't need him, but
he's
just a backup at the end of the day, and he's doing really well. It should be based off what have you done for me lately, not what have you done for me at the Four Nations in 4 games.
Yeah,
I think I do think though you do need players that have been in high pressure situations, right? Like the last thing, a room full of guys that will we're down 2 pucks going into the third period. If we don't tie it up, or if we don't score 3 here, we're out of the tournament. You don't want a bunch of guys in the room that are nervous. You want a bunch of guys that are like, we're calm, but we're pissed off, and we got this.
So shouldn't that mean
you can
someone
only
like,
get that through experience?
Shouldn't that be someone like Evan Bouchard then, right?
Oh.
That guy has shown up for the Oilers multiple times in high-pressure situations late in games in the playoffs.
I think that considering Cale Makar is going to take all the power play minutes on the point, I think then you start to weigh other elements of Evan Bouchard's game and say, are we willing to take that risk? That would be the concern. Considering, and again, considering Makar is going to gobble up all the power play, and he should.
I want to switch gears here a little bit because again, I love how we never truly go where we're going to go, know where we're going to go with you on a week-to-week basis. But
that's me.
I really want to ask you about the Laurent Brossoit situation because we spent all last week being like, Jari. Are they going to go get Tristan Jari? And, maybe that's fizzled a little bit now, but the Brossoit thing, I have found it interesting. Do you think that's the kind of shot this Oilers front office would want to take?
See, here's the thing about Brossoit that I wonder about here. I was mentioning this to Gregor on Rundown. How is Chicago going to showcase him? Chicago's in the playoffs right now. Chicago, when did you ever see Chicago rattle off 3 losses but then end it? That 3 losses didn't turn into 8. They snuffed that out against a really good Anaheim Ducks team on Sunday, and they did it suddenly after going down 3 Cobb. This is a different Blackhawks team. How are they going to get him in to showcase him? Right? He's coming off the major injury, and there's only what you can do in the American Hockey League and have someone bite on him sight unseen. The Oilers have already taken a swing with one goaltender who's in the American Hockey League. Did they do it with 2, and how much does Chicago eat on the contract? Unless somehow you can get him into some NHL games. But if you're Chicago, are you at the point where you're willing to say, you know what, we're not going to worry about wins and losses right now because we want to showcase this goaltender that we need to move? Spencer Knight's been Vezina Trophy good this year. Mm-hmm. This isn't it's just oh, he's cute, he's one of these younger goaltenders, oh, him and Dostal and Askarov are going to be great in the future. No, he's great now. He's been phenomenal for the Blackhawks. How are either of the Blackhawks goaltenders going to surrender the crease, knowing this team is competitive? It's really important to all those young players in that room to provide a competitive environment for as long as you can, and it might even last 82 games for their development, just so you can showcase Laurent Brossoit for a trade. It's almost like you have to wait for the injury to get him in there. So I just don't know how Chicago was going to do this. But I don't know that that necessarily would be a swing that Edmonton would make. I don't think that, again, like, I don't know the nature of the discussions and who asked for what between the Penguins and the Oilers, but I would, considering it's, we're sitting here having this conversation on December 2nd, I would have a hard time believing that any goaltending conversation is completely dead. Any goaltending conversation until they finally make up their mind and have a deal, I think is just on hold more than anything else.
Do you think then there's a chance that some teams and some GMs, like, let's say whether it's Pittsburgh and Jari, or I don't know about the Binnington stuff, but either way, like, if you're a team who has a goalie you might be willing to trade and you go, Edmonton, give me X, pay this price, and Bowman's like, no, I'm not paying that high of a price. If you're that other team, can you not just kind of sit there and be like, I'll just wait till Stuart Skinner has another bad game and hope I get you with a bit of an itchy trigger finger then, right? Like, Edmonton's not in the driver's seat for any potential move they could be making.
Nope. If you're the Buffalo Sabres, for example, and maybe the Edmonton Oilers are interested in Alex Lyon, for example, you're in the driver's seat. You're absolutely. It's not exactly. First of all, amongst managers, there really aren't a lot of secrets, right? Like the way that it works. I'll tell you a funny Brian Burke line in a second. The way that it works now is, when managers talk, a lot of it is like, okay, what are you looking for? Here's what we're looking for. How can we help each other? How many times have you heard that, Tyler? How many times have you heard that, Liam? Well, you know what? This is a trade that's going to work out for both teams, and here's why. And this is what he was looking for, and this is what I was looking for, and we're in different positions, and that's why this trade is going to happen. Blah 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 blah. Brian Burke. I remember I was asking Burke about this, like the early days when he was a general manager. Going back to Hartford. And he said, it's all different now. You're right. Like, everybody now just tries to help one another. Everybody knows what everybody needs. Everybody knows what everybody is looking for. He said, you know how we used to judge trades as general managers when I started? I said, how's that, Brian? He said, if the guy you made the trade with got fired, it was a really good trade. He said, we were all pirates. It's like, yeah, how many did you get? How many guys did you get? You judged yourself as a general manager with how many other guys you got fired because you absolutely rinsed them in a deal like Cliff Fletcher, Doug Risebrough, the Doug Gilmour deal between Toronto and Calgary. It's like, oh yeah, look at that. Risebrough's getting fired over that one. Attaboy, Cliff. Like, you got him on. Like, that's the way trades used to be judged. Now it's all different. Now we're all partners and we all wanted to help each other, but a long-winded way with the story in between, Tyler, of saying, like, everybody knows what everybody wants. There are some teams that are out there. I need another, left shot defenseman for the power play or whatever. Everybody knows, but specifically with the Edmonton Oilers, it's not exactly a secret that they're still kicking tires on goaltenders. I don't think that stops for a while.
So, in this hypothetical world we're about to live in, as I ask this question,
okay,
do you think the Oilers? So there was reports over the weekend the Oilers didn't want to trade for Gibson over the summer because he was injury prone, and that feels like maybe that is the same conversation going on with Jari a bit right now. Would they want to keep Skinner in this situation so then they would have the insurance of having, just hypothetically, if they had Jari, he got injured, they know they can turn to Stuart Skinner. I know it's a bit complicated with the money, but is that an avenue they would prefer to go down?
I believe that. Yes, I do, and honestly, I think that's the sane thing to do here, right? Like I keep coming back to Connor McDavid saying, "I'll do anything to win the Stanley Cup," and if that is the vibe around the entire organization, you have to make really tough decisions for the team. And you may have to let go of some people that are really well liked, whether it's someone's buddy or it's someone's security blanket in the dressing room. If that's it, like, because that's what Vegas has been. There's someone in Vegas that really hates it when I use this word, but I mean it as a compliment. Like, they are ruthless. They just want to win the Stanley Cup. We don't care about feelings. We care about Stanley Cups. And when I hear Connor McDavid talk about, I'll do anything to win the Stanley Cup. I believe the organization wants to follow that same motto. We'll do anything to win the Stanley Cup. It might just mean you have to make some really unpopular decisions with some securities for guys in the room. And I think you're right, Liam. I think the best case scenario is it's Skinner and someone else. Can they get there? That's a whole other different question. But I think you're right about that, Liam. I really do.
Jeff, as always, we appreciate your time. Good to have you back, and we'll chat again next week.
Thanks, boys. Talk in 7 days.
There you go. Jeff Marek, The Sheet, also does the DFO Rundown once a week with our friend Jason Greger.
There's a lot of
Hockey Lifers podcast with Bruce Boudreau.
Right. Yes. New one for Jeff.
It's all the plugs.
So people in the chat kept, when we were talking about Brossoit, were saying like they don't want to make a lateral move. They don't like.
Yep.
Okay, you need to consider this. It wouldn't be Skinner for Brossoit.
Nope.
It would be Pickard for Brossoit. They would bring in Brossoit to be their backup goalie because that's what he is. He's a top backup goalie when he's healthy. Like we don't know fully right now what he is because obviously he hasn't played in so long. And as Jeff was asking, how is Chicago going to showcase him? All I could think of was Chicago just sending highlights from his days in Winnipeg, which was like 2 years ago. Yeah. But that's what they would probably have to do unless he shows well in the American League. Yep. So for Skinner for Brossoit, 100%, it wouldn't even be a lateral move. It would be a downgrade.
Yeah.
But Pickard for Brossoit would be an upgrade. And that's the way you need to look at it is I don't think they want to get rid of Stuart Skinner. There might be a way they just have to, and there's no choice about it, depending on what comes up. But can Skinner and Brossoit be a better goalie tandem than Skinner and Pickard? The answer is more than likely yes.
Yes. My other thing with Brossoit, and we talked about this with Pagnotta yesterday, he has 2.3 because he had $1 million signing bonus. He already got that money. $2.3 million was his salary for this year. By the time he's up and ready to go, we're halfway through this thing.
Yeah.
$1.15 million remaining on that deal. If Chicago's sitting there being like, we can't showcase you, but we want to trade you, and he's sitting in the minors, maybe there's a world where he puts up his hand and goes like, terminate this shit. You guys are out of the money. He can go, because again, we're talking by the 41 game mark here or pretty close to it. If you're the Oilers or if you're Brossoit, you've already earned half of your 2.3, 1.15. Sign a prorated $1 million deal for the rest of the year. You're still going to get, or $1.2 million with the Oilers. Still going to make $600K for the year. Like, yeah, you're losing out on $500,000 is a lot of money. I'm not trying to convince anyone here that it's not a lot of money, but career earnings of almost 20 for Laurent Brossoit. Sit there, give up $500,000 and go to a spot where maybe you can earn yourself a payday this summer and prove to the league that, you know, you're still healthy and you can still be relied on to play big games. Like, I don't know why wouldn't you do that if you were Laurent Brossoit? I guess giving up $500,000 is why you maybe wouldn't do that. But like,
but you bet on yourself a little bit, right?
He also hasn't played hockey in 18 months. He might be like, I don't want to ride the bus in Rockford for the next 6 months. Yeah,
definitely. BBJ asked in the chat and for other people too, does Chicago have any retention spots? Then they have at least 3 because they only retain on Seth Jones.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had to retain on Caleb.
No, Caleb
He was pretty easy to get off the books.
People keep bringing up Akira Schmid. Thoughts?
Well, Carter Hart is he playing tonight? Or is he just
he might be playing tonight.
Back on the roster?
I think he's playing.
Okay. Either way, the situation in Vegas is this. Carter Hart is up from the minors. Now that he's up, if they were to ever want to send him down, he would need waivers. Aiden Hill is on IR right now. He is expected to be out. Well, he's been out since October 22nd. So, like, I don't know. Is he back by January? Like, I don't know how close or far away Aiden Hill is. But once Aiden Hill is healthy, they have 3 goalies on their roster, and they all need waivers to get rid of them. So, like, yeah, if Vegas puts Schmidt on waivers, go claim him. He's had great numbers this year. Are they going to do that, though, or are they going to do what Carolina's doing? Because, again, by January, do you sit there and have a major problem if you're like, you know what, we're just going to run 3 goalies for a month?
Not really.
Because then you get to the Olympic break, and then you have a month to buy yourself some time, and then you get closer to the deadline, and let's see where we're at. But, like, I don't know, man. Akira Schmid has in 15 games this year, has an 896. He's a touch below league average on that Vegas team. Is he a solution? No. Is it maybe a little shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic, going from Pickard to Schmid? Maybe, but at least he's young with upside.
Yeah. He showed well, if I'm not mistaken, when he was a Devil, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of from the hype fell a little bit on him. He's only 25 at the end of the day. 2.51 goals against average, which is above league average, sorry.
How many? So league average this year is 897. I went and looked today for DFO Live because Hutz and I were doing a segment on the Utah Mammoth and their struggles. Both of Utah's goalies are below league average this season. How many teams do you think there are out of 32 where both their goalies are below league average?
Well, I can think of one, the Edmonton Oilers.
Yep, so there's 2.
This is just on save percentage?
Just league average save percentage, yep. Both goalies in the tandem below league average.
5?
8. A
Damn,
quarter
I
of the
never
league.
Get those.
A quarter of the league
Who are
is
the
getting
8? Oh, sorry. I thought you were.
Edmonton, Utah, Vegas,
Oh, shit.
Ottawa, Detroit, I'm pulling it up, Montreal, Nashville, St. Louis.
Okay, so only two of those teams, probably maybe 3, depending on where you grade Detroit, aren't playoff contenders.
Montreal.
Montreal's a playoff contender. My 3 were Nashville, St. Louis, and Detroit. Detroit is. I shouldn't have Detroit.
Yeah, it's just Nashville and St. Louis. So
Pretty
6
wild.
of those 8 are playoff contenders.
Interesting.
Yeah. So again, if you're Vegas and you got 3 of them, you got 3 goalies. I know you're in the group of having none of them above it, but like,
Yeah.
just wait, run with 3. Like, it's the same reason. And I know injuries are another factor in all this, but like, there's a reason Carolina didn't trade you Brandon Bussey for Troy Stetcher a month ago, because they're sitting there and going, you know what, we're just going to keep our 3 for a little bit.
Something's going on in the chat right now, and let's just put an end to this. Connor McDavid, good teammate. Let's move on from the debate that's going on in here. He gives a shit about his body language when his team is playing at 500 hockey and has not played well all season.
Yeah, he's like top 3 in the league in scoring. Like,
So
he's fine.
let's
Connor
chill
McDavid's
out
easy.
on
Yeah.
that one.
Let's just stop it.
We don't need to talk about leadership and body language.
No, because
Not
that's the kind of stuff.
We'll get in trouble for that.
Yep.
LOL.
Circling back to the Olympic conversation really quick.
Let's do
What's
it.
fascinating to me about how you handle your goalies if you're Team Canada,
Pull him.
well, you only get 3, so you get 3 round robin games in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Canada opens up against Czechia. So let's say you are doing the loyalty thing and you go, okay, we're giving Binnington Czechia. And let's say he gives up 3 goals and you win 5-3. Super. You then play Switzerland, who you should smoke.
Yep.
I know they have like Yossi and
What is it? Yosef Fiala.
Kishier.
Niedermeyer. Not Niedermeyer.
Niederreiter.
Niederreiter.
but
Anyone
like
else off the top of my-
Gaetan Haas.
Schmid. Schmid.
Oh, yeah. But like Gaetan Haas is going to be playing, I would imagine.
I saw a graphic yesterday that had David Tomasek on the Czech team.
Really?
I mean, I don't know what the depth is.
Anyways,
but anyway.
so my point is here with the goaltending, like you give Binnington Czechia, he plays good but not great. You win the game. And then game 2, because it's the next day, that's where you go like, all right, we're going to throw like Logan Thompson in for this one. And Logan Thompson, you beat Switzerland 3-0. Okay, Logan Thompson got a shutout, played good, maybe not great, but like stopped 18 shots or some shit, right? Your 3rd game of the round robin is against France. Who cares how? Play me.
Who do they have?
Pierre-Edouard Bellemare.
Alex Tessier.
Straight up. It's like those 2 guys. Who cares how you play against them, right? Like, you'll smoke them.
Yeah.
Now you are in elimination games. You've had Jordan Binnington play good but not great. You've had Logan Thompson post a shutout against Switzerland, even if it's not impressive. Who do you go with in the elimination game?
Logan Thompson. He's your best option. You play your best lineup.
So now you have Jordan Binnington, who's skating off the ice yesterday, screamed at his head coach because he didn't like that he was getting pulled.
Yeah.
Are you worried about sitting there in Milan and going to Jordan Binnington after he played good in his one game and maybe even shut out France in his other game? Are you worried about what it's like in the room if you go to Jordan Binnington and say, you're not playing today? Is he going to be pissy? Is he going to be...
Send him home. Send him to the bleachers. Who gives a shit? You have guys like Sidney Crosby. I would imagine Drew Doughty's on this team. Like, if Jordan Binnington's stepping up in that room being like, I should play, I promise you 5 other guys are stepping up being like, shut your damn mouth. We are here to win a gold medal, not for you to get games. The answer is Logan Thompson.
So then, to
I won't
Jeff's
even
point,
play Thompson. I won't even play Binnington a game. Maybe the 3rd game once you've qualified.
well, I think it's the middle game because it's the second of back-to-backs. So
Okay,
like
so
the middle
back-to-back,
game
didn't
is
know
the
that.
one where you would like give to someone else. But then like the fact we're having this conversation of like, will Jordan Binnington behave? And I'm convinced and you're convinced that like Logan Thompson's your guy. Why are you even bringing Jordan Binnington then?
I agree. It is based off the 4 nations, and that's a fair thing to respect. Totally. He played really well. Like Jeff mentioned, there's a couple of moments, but in the biggest moment, he showed up, which is his reputation. But you're bringing him if something bad happens. What is it? In case break glass or whatever, emergency break glass. I think you take him based off that, based off his big game performances, and based off like who else are you really taking? Like you're kind of grasping at a third goalie, right? Like, but Logan Thompson's your guy. Like, don't overthink this. So many of these international teams at different spots, you're like, ooh, where should we play this guy? Is Carmelo Anthony gonna play as a sixth man on Team USA? It's like, yeah, man, because he wants to win a gold medal. Like, I think once you get there, there's just a mentality of like, okay, we're Canada, we're whatever country, we're here to win. We will do this as a team.
Pope Luigi, great comments today. Says Luongo started in 2014, didn't stick. They eventually went to Gary Price.
Oh, I thought you said Gary.
Gary.
It's like, who is Gary? Yeah, exactly.
Maynard, to quote Ty from way back, quote, he's a fucking spaz. He is a spaz.
Yeah.
Can I show you this? Oh, yeah, here you go. Let's watch. Jordan Binnington doesn't think this goal is the reason he should get pulled.
I think this one was worse. Because that's like,
sometimes
you
Stuart
see
Skinner
those
did that?
fluky
Oh, my
ones,
God.
But that one is just like, man. But he's upset. There was a quote from Montgomery. He said he was literally waiting for him at the end of the tunnel at the intermission. He apologized. In the moment, he's just a hothead. I don't know. I think you just kind of get used to a guy like that. But I don't see him being a problem for Canada. I really don't. And also, too, like Doug Armstrong's going. Doug Armstrong, if anyone's got a pulse in him, it's Doug Armstrong.
You'd hope.
You would hope.
Doug Armstrong also might have ulterior motives at play here. Wants to bring him make him easier to trade.
Oh, I guess. I don't know. I don't see it. I think he goes. I think he should go. I think Logan Thompson should go. I don't know who my third string is going to be. I think it's probably easier to do this process of like who shouldn't go and then like narrow it down. Like Skinner shouldn't go. Aiden Hill shouldn't go. Scott Wedgwood shouldn't go. I know we just talked about it a little bit. Mackenzie Blackwood, how many games? I don't know. He's back. He's probably a candidate. Darcy Kemper, of course. Who else is left? Probably those two, right? Yeah. Tristan Jarry might have put himself in the conversation somehow.
No.
9-11 save percentage this season. He's been pretty good. Like, I don't think he is, and I mean, it is all based off those piss tests that they're doing. Yeah. I don't know if he's in the program. But
yeah, so like basically you would already be Hockey Canada has to have you on a short list by now.
Yeah.
Because you gotta be pissing.
You gotta be pissing.
Yeah.
You do be pissing.
Anyways, this is a perfect time for Jay to be walking in.
Because we're talking about piss.
Yeah.
We're taking shoes off?
Yep.
Yeah, new shoe policy, Jay.
Slushy outside.
Inside shoes, outside shoes.
That's why we're wearing slippers.
We're back in elementary. Indoor shoes, outside shoes.
Couple of things.
These look like standard issue slippers.
They are.
Mine don't have a back on them, so I think I need different ones.
I've been wearing mine for weeks.
Well, we're all in the gray sweater, black pant club.
Yeah.
Got the memo there.
It's called style, folks. Look it up.
Steez.
Ooh, that's too young of a word for you to be saying.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's an unk move.
Is it unk?
Trying a little too hard.
Oh, unks try to talk like that?
Yeah, you're trying to talk like you.
Right,
we were just talking about how players who think they have a chance of going to the Olympics, like they know by now because they're already doing the piss test, and then you walked right in. So,
did you enjoy reporting on the piss test?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Number one piss reporter.
Yeah, he is the number one piss reporter.
You're wearing a Knicks hat.
I'm wearing a Knicks hat.
A Knicks dad hat. You usually don't wear hats that are shaped and structured like this.
I know. We might be switching it up. I've been flat brim for so long.
Yeah.
I might need to shake things up.
I like the cross, like this one. This isn't a flat brim, but it's also not like the dad hat. I like the curved brim, structured crown.
Yeah, I do like the structured crown, but I got this one.
Shout out to our guy Ryan Dennis in the What the Futures podcast. If you're a farming person, go download his podcast now. I join it once a month. Talk farming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Give my take on wheat and
yeah.
how the crops are yielding.
Liam, you should be on the farming podcast.
Price of beef is too high.
Price of beef is too high.
How was New York?
Correct.
Was that business or pleasure?
That was pleasure. That was a birthday trip for me. Eva took me on a birthday trip.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How was the game?
Yeah.
Who'd they play? You were during the NBA Cup, right?
Yeah, they played Milwaukee.
So the floor was all crazy?
Yeah, I got to see Giannis.
Oh, Greek freak.
Which was amazing. And I bet him over props and Jalen Brunson, our peer, if you will.
Because he technically does a podcast in our network?
Yes.
All right.
On his over. And Giannis hit it with the last bucket with 1 second left.
Damn.
He hit my parlay. It was great. But, wow, Madison Square Garden, Knicks. It was amazing.
Did you go see any shows?
We were going to try, but, man, New York is a beast. If anyone's been, it is a beast.
Big Apple.
The Big Apple, as they
what they
say.
call
And
it.
we just took a small bite because that apple's large.
Yeah.
So, yeah, left a lot of meat on the bone to go back. So, yeah, ended up doing a show. No show.
Well, since you've been gone,
What happened?
Okay, Kelly.
the Oilers beat the Seattle Kraken 4-0. Nuge came back. Stu's got a shutout. Tristan Jarry, who? We're good.
We're
I was
rolling.
at the Canuck bar in New York to watch that game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
I had to call my bookie.
yeah, which you got credit now. So I don't know what you want to do with it.
Oh.
When Jay's out of the country, I'll get texts. Just need my bookie. And I will place wagers for him.
Yeah.
So you had a couple on the Oilers. You did real well on Saturday.
Really well.
Yeah, I had to call off my goons. You were back in the positives.
Then I dipped. Then I went into a little crazy pool on my Browns.
On your Browns lost. And then he texts me and goes, "What are the odds on the footy team Napoli? Napoli?"
Napoli.
Not Napoli.
Napoli was playing Rome.
That was a big game.
I want to hear the story behind this. Why were you telling me to bet on this?
Well, I met a great guy from Napoli, and I was educating him about the Oilers game.
He was at Canuck Bar?
Yeah, and he was telling me all about his team in Napoli and how he was planning his whole life around Sunday watching that game.
They won.
And he also and they did win.
Yeah.
Which is
Big
so
game.
they and so you saw the odds, juicy.
I did.
They
Plus
did. They
200.
won that game to go top of the
Yeah.
the ladder, the
Top of the
fixture,
table.
The
top of the table.
Scudetto. Top of the league.
So I had to ride with my boy, and then he showed me and explained this because there was he's like learning about hockey, and I'm like, I hope that I'm not telling him I'm hoping there's fights. I'm just in my mind hoping there's fights, and the Oilers delivered for once.
Twice. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh my God, I'm like fighting. He's like, oh, you need to know about this. I'll have to check my phone. It's like this crazy, like 3-word sport that they play once a year in Florence, where it's like soccer, but it's like a soccer ball, but they carry it and they fight.
Oh, Classico Scorio Forienti.
Yes.
Yeah.
Classic.
Once a year.
Who plays it once a year?
The men.
So the gladiators, like people from all over the world. It's not just like a Florence thing. Will come and play in this one event. He was showing me videos. It looks insane.
It's on St. John the Baptist Day.
In June?
Yeah, June 24th.
Yeah.
Every year.
Interesting. Edmonton back on home ice tonight. They're beginning a 5-game homestand. Vibes are kind of pointing in the right direction now. Playing Minnesota. Jesper Wallstedt doesn't give up goals.
Until tonight, right? We're back on. We're fully drinking the Kool-Aid.
Let's show Jay the goalie graphics, Aaron, if you don't mind.
Yeah, this'll upset you.
A lot of 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So this is
Oh, his ears.
He's
Where do we
so-
shoot?
He's so good by the ears.
We're actually going the opposite way. We're going 5-hole tonight. He is 100% on the ears, 100% in the chest. His worst save percentage on his body is 85% between the legs.
Okay.
And
Very tough.
his worst save percentage when you look at the map, 0 for 2 on shots from below the goal line.
Yeah.
So you just got to bank a couple in off him.
Wow.
Fire a few off his ass.
Okay.
Everything
Well, we
else.
know Connor and Leon like doing that.
Yeah. Hey, that's true. We might see a Connor like off the back of the mask, maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh, but is that? Well, yeah, that would maybe
would count.
be and potentially up by the ears.
That would potentially be an ear goal behind the net. We've never seen that before.
Yeah,
that would
that'd
be
sweet.
crazy.
That'd
That
be
would
sweet.
be crazy.
It's never been done before. Obviously, you watched the game on Saturday. You just talked about the fights. Boy, you can't send Connor Clattenburg down anytime soon, hey?
How can you not? He's the spark of this team. What's the record? Are they 2-1 with him in the lineup?
Yes. Yeah, because they would have lost to Dallas, and that's it.
Yeah, so you can't argue that.
And he's had a spark in every game.
In every game. He is the juice that the team needs to drink to elevate.
There was a quote today, actually,
You got
from
jam.
Knobloch on Trent Frederick, who we need to get the juice from. He said, "We know Trent will come around. Right now, we're trying to get it out of him." Knobloch on Trent Frederick struggles.
Oh,
there you go. The juice needs to
salmon.
come around. Man. Luckily, we only have 7 more years, so she's got plenty of time
To turn it around.
to get things going.
Cloddenberg will just come in and
Should I do the math on how far along, like percent-wise, we are through the Trent Frederick contract?
it'll make it feel better.
I don't think so.
So much more time to improve.
Yeah, he's got plenty of room.
I think we're right around the 5% mark.
I would assume.
Nowhere to go but up for our boy Freddie. But yeah, Connor Clattenburg has been an unbelievable story through a couple of games. We've been doing the math on, so like his pay when he's in the American League, $80,000 a year. He's now been up for 11 days. He's made 44. I think today will put him up to like $48,000 since he's gotten called up from the American League. That's a good motivator. You'll go out and play pretty hard when you're 20 years old, haven't made any money in your professional career.
He's hungry.
That's what we need.
He's fighting for his supper, literally.
Yeah.
The guy is going to do whatever it takes to stay up. And I love it. We need something like this right now. Mm-hmm. We need something like this, something unexpected to happen.
Something to give us some identity, which is insane that it's Connor Clattenburg we were talking about here, but like there's
But
truth
he
to
showed it in
that.
the preseason, like and whatever. We can't we used to celebrate Jesse Puljujärvi every preseason and Tyrati. But he had a good preseason. I'm like, This guy's a throwback. He's scoring and fighting, and now he's scoring a hair. He's not playing a lot, but he's fighting and he's hitting.
Mm-hmm.
He's earning his way up here.
The 2 hot rumors over the last week. Well, the one that got real hot was Tristan Jarry.
Yeah.
Streets were talking.
Streets are talking.
They still are.
Oh, I don't know if they are.
Oh, they were. I don't know if
I haven't been on
the
the street in a while. It's all icy.
But the other one's Laurent Brossoit.
Oh,
are you in on either one of them?
Oh God,
Golly.
It's LB is interesting because he was good in that Vegas series against us until he got hurt.
Yeah.
Well, we also would have won that series if he didn't get hurt.
I remember when he got hurt, I was sitting in the seats with my dad, and Laurent Brossoit was 30 feet away from us. And I just remember when he went down, in my head, I'm like, they just won this series.
I know, I thought that too.
I'm like, holy shit. And then Aiden Hill made $36 million off that injury because he doesn't get a sniff if LB stays healthy.
Yeah.
I heard Aiden Hill had a great night the night before too, and wasn't expecting to be playing in that game.
Didn't think he was going to be
So
getting
he played loose.
Yeah, he did.
Playing
There's
guilty
that-
is a real thing.
When you know that story, the shot of him, it's like the first TV timeout when he has his arms on the crossbar and he's just looking straight up into the sky, and you're like, that is a guy who's playing through something right now. Like, shit. He's sitting there on the bench just being like, God damn it. Anyways, he hasn't played in 18 months.
Yeah, it's risky, and he would have to be an upgrade on Pickard, I think, is the play.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
maybe the hopes, but then you've got the whole room revolting around Pickard.
Which is silly.
You can't keep, if we're at the point, let's say it takes 2 weeks for LB to get up to speed in the American League, and then Chicago comes calling and is like, all right, we're doing right by the player here. We're giving him a chance to play NHL games. Let's do this trade. Or they do my thing and they mutually buy out the deal. 2 weeks from now, if you have 2 more or 3 more poor Calvin Pickard starts, and if they're good Calvin Pickard starts, then this isn't a question. This is totally a hypothetical. But at some point, you need to go to the room and be like, hey guys, don't care that you like them, right? Friendship isn't going to win you a Stanley Cup.
The answer to our goaltending isn't upgrading Calvin Pickard.
But
no.
At the moment, sure, we can drink the Kool-Aid and have extreme recency bias and say, yes, that is the case. But the body of work of this season suggests it is not the case.
I think one thing that would just be helpful for the others to do is to take games off Skinner. Mm-hmm. I think he's just being asked to play too much. And I think Brossoit, as a serviceable backup, would come in and do that. So since the start of the 2021 season, granted, Brossoit has missed some time, obviously. He's played 58 games, and the only goalie who has about a 5-5 save percentage than him is Linus Ullmark in the NHL. Again, it's 58 games in comparison to guys who have played over 100, but he had a 930 save percentage at 5-5.
How old is LB now?
32.
Wow.
Yeah, time flies.
Listen, and there's two hilarious outcomes
He
here.
was our Mem Cup goalie, right?
No, Jari was.
Jari was. Okay.
We won a championship here, though, with
Yeah.
the Oil Kings. Yeah.
Well, there's two reunions we could discuss. You bring in Jari and Brossoit, and you go with two Oil Kings goalies, or you get Brossoit, then you go get Talbot, and you just run it back to 2017. That was the duo in 2017 when Cam Talbot played basically every single game.
Pick your poison.
Like that year in 2017, Brossoit started 4 games for the Edmonton Oilers. And you must be thinking like, boy, he just got a little cup of coffee, then went back down to the minors. No, it's because Talbot started 73. It's insane. It's the most games a goalie has started in the last 20 years in the NHL was Talbot that season. And then the next season when he couldn't play, everyone was just kind of like, boy, it must be because he had a kid or because he had kids. Not because they played the wheels off of him the year before. Insane. Anyways, let's keep the conversation about tonight's game going a little bit with our next guest. Louie DeBrusk's appearance is brought to you by our friends at Oodle Noodle, where you can add 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 wontons to your order for just $2. It's the value menu deal, and it's available now, oodlenoodle.ca. Any signature or premium box, in-store, and takeout orders only, so go to oodlenoodle.ca today as we welcome in Sportsnet's own Louie DeBrusk. And Louie, there has been one situation we've been waiting to ask you about, and it's when Jack lost his voice. We're all, thinking about Jack, but how are you navigating that situation?
Yeah, I said right away to my producer, Larry Isaac, I was like, oh shit, this could get really interesting here pretty soon if he can't get his voice back. But you know what? I just went, never heard that before from Jack when he loses a voice. But yeah, I just started talking, giving him a little break just to allow him to get some tea, some honey, some whatever. And then it came back for him. And he just didn't put it into high gear after that because it was, I believe, on the Clattenburg goal, right? When he scored his first goal is when it went away. He elevated so high, it was just disappeared. And it worked out. I don't want to be a play-by-play guy. I'll tell you that right now. I like my role as a color analyst. He's got that covered. I'm not vying for that position, and I wasn't vying for it in that game either. I was pretty happy that his voice came back.
So I was just going to say, in the first period when Dallas was scoring, you could see when they scored, he just like, goal. Like there wasn't a lot in it. So obviously you guys must have known this was a possibility to happen in a way, right? Like he was clearly on it.
Yep. No, he told me he was fighting it for a couple days before the game, and he laid low. Unfortunately, that's just part of the business too. When you get a little cold, little infection or something, sometimes it starts in the chest. Next thing you know, it's in your voice box. And when you talk for a living, as you guys know too, it can affect you, right? So I lost my voice last year in the playoffs in the Vegas series. But I don't talk nearly as much as a play-by-play guy. So when the play-by-play guy's voice goes out, it's we're in trouble. Houston, we have a big problem here. And that would have been really interesting. Maybe we would have had to grab either Cam Moon or Bob Stauffer Bob Stauffer's done some play-by-play too. So I don't know how we would have figured that out if he would have fully lost his voice. I know for sure Gene's also done some play-by-play too, so he could have stepped in, and he probably would have. But I'll stay in my lane. For sure. But yeah, we knew going in that he was not feeling well. He told me that his voice was, kind of like this. And up until that point, I thought he'd done a great job. Sometimes you got to burn the carbon out, though, to get the voice back again. I think that's what he did. That's like, when you rev it a few times, when, your engine's not really smooth, it's kind of chugging along a little bit, and you kind of blow that carbon out. And that's what I think he did when he celebrated on Clattenburg's first NHL goal.
I would have loved I had eyes on Stoff in the arena when people were texting me. I'm like, they got to he's loosening up in the bullpen. But anyways.
Get ready.
Yeah.
La, 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 la. He's getting ready to come down, eh? Yeah.
But how could you not have been fired up for Connor Clattenburg? I mean, what a story this kid has been. And what started as all right, they're bringing him up for the Florida game. And, maybe it's not gimmicky, but because they're playing the Panthers, they want something rough. They want to send a message. It's now turned into he played 7 minutes the other day against Seattle. I could have sworn he played 15. You can't send this guy down. He's just doing too much.
And you love that, right? Don't you love that about the fact that a guy comes in and call him the underdog, if you will? But he had a great training camp, too. There was a lot of talk about him in training camp. He's 20 years old, though. I think they wanted him to go down to the American Hockey League. They wanted him to get his feet wet in pro hockey, which he did, and he didn't tiptoe around, in the American Hockey League. So when he got his opportunity, we had heard from everybody down in Bakersfield that he was going to be, he was going to run around. This guy was going to hit. He was going to go out and look to get hits. He was looking to get to the forecheck, but also, like he did in exhibition and in the rookie games, he gets to the net. He scored some goals. And just like he scored his first NHL goal, go to the net, he's had a really good chance in all 3 games that he's played. Like you can't say that about every player on the team. In the last 3 games, they've had a really good chance to score. But he's had 3. Should have easily had his second goal in the game in Seattle. I mean, he had a wide open net. He just missed the net on the deke and just trying to elevate up over top of Decord. But I like the fact that he's looking to run around. He's looking to disturb. I compared him a little bit to Ryan Lomberg, and what I meant by that was Lomberg's a guy that had to scrape, claw, fight for every inch he got. Won a Stanley Cup with Florida, now in Calgary. But he's a Kurt Brackenbury, who used to be an old Oiler and was a real tough guy in his own right and played a similar kind of game. It was all energy. He was my strength coach in Edmonton for a few years, and I always remember him referring to players like that as spinal fluid. That was how he referred to players like that. They're spinal fluid. They make things tick. They make things go. Without it, you're in big, big trouble. And he adds that. And this team desperately needed a little emotion. And I think since he's been on board in the last 3 games, with the, exception of Dallas, I think that, he's been injecting that energy. And I think the team has it's rubbed off on them a little bit. We're seeing a little more determination in the scrums. We're seeing a little extra after the whistles from time to time. A few more hits here and there. 13 hits in 2 games for him, though. So in 6 minutes, respectively, I think he had 7 the one game and 6. He's got 13 hits. That goes to show you that's maximizing your time. That's maximizing your time going out there, not being a liability, being a physical presence. He was looking for a fight. He wanted to get that first one under his belt. I don't think Frederick Gaudreau was necessarily who he thought was going to fight in his first NHL fight. But, Dallas, once the score was racked up, guys didn't want to really mess with him. They were like, yeah, why would we fight now in a game that we have this much control? And I understand that. But in Seattle, he found a partner, and he might find a partner tonight against Minnesota. There's a couple guys over there that are pretty physical. And I can promise you one thing, though. He's not going to change. He's going to keep running around, which is why he's still in the lineup, and rightfully so, he should be.
I noticed it's like you already alluded to, it's infectious. Like he's bringing the jam. We've been missing the jam, and the pack mentality is now starting to show up, right? You saw them standing at the blue line, giving the business to Mason Marchment as a team, like all that stuff that the gelling stuff
that they weren't showing in October.
I know it's just that to me is such a powerful signal, and this rookie is bringing it to the team.
I agree, and here's the thing: this team has it. We've seen them play that way. We know they can play that way, and they have the personnel in there that when they're playing the right way and the way they can, that's the way they play. In the playoffs, they become really tight. They're a very tight-knit group, and they play for one another at the right times. They've been able to always manifest that, especially in the last few years. They've been able to really buckle down and start to play the right way, and a big part of that is playing for the guy beside you, making sure that you're doing what you need to do so that you're effective in the game. But at the same time, it's that pack mentality, like you say. I think it just needed a little gasoline on the fire, so to speak, to try and get it going. And, I think, you look at Trent Fredericks on that 4th line with him. He's going to engage him, too. Trent's going to be a little more physical, too. Tomashik, we saw him when he was in the lineup. He was physical. Lazar, now that he's in the lineup in that line, he's going to finish checks. Like, it does rub off on you. And I know it's not all about physicality, but I do believe that it is about drive. It's about determination. It's about compete. If you really want to narrow it down to one word, it's compete. So he's going to compete to try and stay in the lineup, try and stay in the NHL, and I think that's a real good feeling, and guys can use that to their advantage. They really can. It's cool when you see young guys come up and they're really hungry, and they want to compete to stay there, because it forces you to look in the mirror and say, okay, it's time for me to compete a little bit too, and I think it has been there. For the last 5 games, there's been signs to me that this team is starting to dig in. They've had a good week of practice here, a strong game against a team in Seattle that, can't find their offensive game right now. So maybe the perfect game for that to go out there and kind of blow the carbon out, so to speak. They're going to have a tough opponent tonight in Minnesota. So I think they'll be excited and ready for this one, and it's time for another test. I think they'll be more ready for this test.
Yeah, I guess what do you think the difference is between this team today to what it was a week ago when they got blown out by Dallas? Like, that was supposed to be a big game for them. Everyone had spoken about coming off the road trip, finally at home, you get destroyed, to put it politely. But now they come off a win. Like, it feels like this has to be a game they really show up for tonight.
Just to jump in quickly, 5 off days as well, which is I think helps.
Well, that's it. Chris Knobloch this morning in our little huddle, he said they've had more practice time in the last week than they had in the previous 5. I mean, that says it all. When you're trying, here's the thing. If they were playing well and they're winning and they're rolling, nobody cares, that they don't have practice time. The coaches do. They always do. They always want to work on things. But you're like, they're flying, they're working. And we've seen that. You get into a rhythm and you're just winning games. And everything kind of gets brushed under the rug, even the little mistakes or things that are trending in the game, maybe in a negative way. When you're losing, everything's magnified. Everything is brought to attention. And the numbers, the analytics, you name it, are all magnified because they're not winning hockey games. So when you have practice time, you want to utilize it. And, here's the thing. I like the jump yesterday in practice I was watching. So from a determination from earlier in the year to now, it's the top guys, too, like the McDavids, Dreisaitl's, Nugent Hopkins is out there. They're staying extra to work on skills and drills, just a few more puck touches, a few more shots. I think it just gets you back into the rhythm. If you're fighting it a bit and you're just not feeling the puck that well, practice is where you get that back. And meaningful practice. One of the things for Knobloch he talked about too was trying to simulate situations where you've got to think, you got to be on your toes, and it's not just a autopilot running through the drills like some skates can be, where you're just methodically going through your drills and not really thinking. When you're doing small space stuff, man-on-man coverage, down-low coverage, transitional play, you have to think, and that's kind of what I think he's tried to implement in the practices to bring that out a little bit. And yeah, I agree. I think they will be ready for this game tonight against Minnesota, a team that's had their number a little bit, a team that's played very well against them and has given them a hard time, have elite players, have a great structure, are getting some great goaltending right now, and this is a team that's another measurement game for Edmonton as far as kind of where they are and where they need to be.
Minnesota's played in 7 one-goal games in this season so far. This is excluding OT games, so regulation one-goal games. They are 6-1 in those games. One of their big strengths, they get the saves too. Like, we spent 20 minutes today looking at Jesper Wallstedt. It's like, good Lord, I don't know how you beat this guy.
Yeah, he's kind of he didn't just burst onto the scene. John Hines this morning talked about him a little bit and said they had high hopes for him. They've always felt he's been a real good prospect. But like what happens with a lot of young players, he came in and probably expected more earlier in his career in the last couple of years. Didn't play a lot. He was down in the minors. Didn't like the fact that he was demoted. Excuse me. Marc-Andre Fleury was there, Hall of Famer. You're not going to bump him out of the lineup. But he grasped his opportunity this year. And I guess apparently he's really done some great things in the offseason. He started to really work on his nutrition, on his training, and it's time, right? When your opportunity comes up, you want to be ready for it. He's certainly been ready for it. He's been fantastic. And he's getting better every game, it seems. But he's got a team in front of him that plays a certain way. They're a stingy team to begin with. I think that's the staple of their identity. That's kind of the number one thing, is that they want to be hard to play against and defend very well. But then they have offensive weapons, and they have guys that can hurt you offensively. So it's a great combination. Didn't get off to the greatest start. They had some injuries, guys in and out of their lineup. Now that they're starting to get healthier and starting to get line combinations back together, you're starting to see them put 9-0-2 in the last 11. They've been pretty solid. So I think they're a team that you can certainly know that you're going to have a tough game against them, and the way they play the game, and that sometimes can excite you because it's like, okay, buckle down. This is going to be a good one.
5 straight home games starting tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. I think everyone, when they were struggling in November, Louie, you looked at this run of 12 days as like, that's where they can turn it around. Back on home ice where they've been so good the last few years, sleeping in their own bed, coming off days off. Like, Yes, Minnesota is good, but there are no excuses over these next 5 games to not go like 4-1, in my opinion.
I agree, and I think that's how they're looking at it. And you can only take one game at a time. I know the cliches will come out, and right now Minnesota's the team they're worried about, and it'll be worried about what they do, not what Minnesota does. All that comes out. But yeah, this is kind of one of the parts of the schedule you look at and say you've had a really tough go at the start of the year here, as far as road games, travel, long road trips, living out of a suitcase. This is where you can get into a rhythm. This is where you can get into a rhythm where you play a game, you have a practice day, and you just start to systematically go through it and really build into a good stretch. And I think that's what they want from this. I think that's what they're looking for. Obviously, they're not sitting there saying, okay, we have to win all 5 games, but they're saying we need to make some noise here. This is where we need to dig in. This is where we can recuperate. We can get recovered before each game. No back-to-backs in the situation. So I expect them to have more energy, number one, and energy bodes well for this team. When we've seen this team rested, they typically come out with a really strong performance because when their top guys and everybody down the line has that energy to play the way that's necessary, the compete's higher, the buy-in's higher, you're playing for one another, and you're just a harder team to play against, and that's typically when they do well. So I expect that from this stretch, and I expect it to start tonight against Minnesota. Like I said, a team that they're not taking lightly. They look over there and they know they have some real strong weapons and have a very good team that can make you pay. So they've seen it before in the past, and they've had some really good games against Minnesota the last few years. This will be hopefully a good one tonight.
Louie, as always, appreciate your time. Thanks for popping on. We'll chat again next week.
All right, guys. Take care.
See you later.
There you go. Louie DeBrusk, brought to you by our friends over at Oodle Noodle. You don't have time to cook tonight. You'll be sitting at home watching hockey. Order some Oodle Noodle. And do a pickup order, because then you can take advantage of the value menu deal. Let's keep cruising along with the show. Get to our Bet365 Game Day Betting Challenge. It is brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gentlemen,
That's true.
we're all mired in a slump. As much as we are looking for the Oilers to get hot, maybe our betting will get hot now that they're back on home ice.
We need the Homestand.
I did us all a favor and I changed our pitches.
Wow.
Liam, that one is so funny.
So obviously that's me in the hockey gear when I lost. I think it was Jeopardy. We lost, right? That's Tyler in a car in Toronto. And that is Jay at the food bank.
Yeah.
Thought I'd give you some good mojo, Jay.
Chucking noodles, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. There's the 3 of us in our prime.
No one has more than 3 wins. No one is better off than negative 5.65 units. Uh-oh.
But
Turns around tonight.
it's the problem when your team slumps.
Yep.
You slump. You have no control over it.
Jeez. Yeah, I know that.
Let's get to our picks for this evening. I'm going shot prop parlay. Matt Boldy's hit this number in 3 of 5. Evan Bouchard has missed this in 3 in a row, but back on home ice, I like Bouch to fire some pucks. Give me this one, plus 400 on a couple of guys to hit their shot props.
Minnesota guy over there, right?
Loves Ben on the other team.
Matt Boldy's really good.
I
like
know
Matt
he's
Boldy.
so good.
He's so sick.
We could have had him, couldn't we?
Yeah.
We could have had everybody.
Yeah, touche.
Liam,
Nuge power play point.
God, what a game he had on
When
Saturday.
I was looking through the
dear.
numbers, it's difficult to beat Jesper Wallstedt. There's no doubt about it. But the Minnesota Wild penalty kill, is 22nd in the NHL. Yeah. Nuge makes a difference on the power play. Plus 270 is not bad.
Great juice.
That's phenomenal juice.
It is pretty decent. So I'll be going with that tonight.
I think my boy Pods is due.
Budsy.
He's playing his Russian counterpart in Kirill Kaprizov.
That's true.
So, maybe he wants to step up and try to win the
Russian moth?
The Russian battle.
And
And he's due.
Yep.
Kid's due.
Yeah. He's been playing really well recently.
So tonight's a night where I think we need some secondary scoring. And it's interesting to say that Podkolzin's secondary scoring, but there it is.
3 shots last game for Podkolzin.
It's coming. It's a math game now.
Yeah.
Knockout Panda in the chat. Should have just drafted the Wild's whole team.
Well,
When you put it that way,
I don't know what. If we
they
just
could have had Brock Faber.
Who did the Oilers take in the 5th round when Kirill Kaprizov was taken?
That was the McDavid draft.
Oh, that would have been
Couldn't take
special.
him. We traded all our picks for Reinhardt.
5th round, Edmonton took, Ethan Bear.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that deal.
You wouldn't take Kaprizov?
Remember when we traded Ethan Bear for Warren Fogle and everyone's like, what? Ethan Bear played like 9 more NHL games or whatever. It was something ridiculous.
Nico Mikkola went 2 picks later.
Damn, that's a good 5th round.
Even gets even better. Connor Garland was picked 1 before Ethan Bear. So it's Connor Garland, Ethan Bear, Niko Mikula, Kirill Kaprizov, Dominic Simone, who played 250 games in the league.
Yeah, with Pittsburgh.
Kirill Vamelka.
Okay.
Troy Terry. And,
Troy Terry went in that round?
Yeah, and Adam Gaudette also went in that round.
Jeez, you could have made a really good roster in that 5th round.
Yeah,
you
you
should have
should've-
traded all your 2nd and 3rd round picks for all the 5th round picks.
Yeah.
Build your team.
6th round, whilst we're here, John Marino, Vladislav Gavrikov, Andrew Mangiapane, Mason Appleton.
This is a really deep draft.
7th round,
Oh, here we go.
Stephen Lorenz. Oh my goodness, Marcus
Aurelius?
Nutivara.
Marcus Nudavara?
Yep,
Oh, yeah. I don't think he's in the league anymore.
275 games though.
Yeah.
Matt Roy, last player in the draft to play a game in the NHL. Joey Decord, the 199th pick to the Ottawa Senators, was playing Massachusetts high school hockey for Cushing Academy. There you go.
Marcus Nudavara left the NHL after 2022, didn't play for 3 years, is back with Karpat this year in Legia.
He didn't play for 3 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
just didn't play for 3 years. Maybe he had to
Crazy.
don't they have to do mandatory military service in Finland?
They do, but it's only 6 months.
Not 3 years?
Not 3 years.
that rules out that theory.
Unless you're really good, maybe. I don't know. Keep you on an extension.
All right.
What a draft.
Yeah, that was a crazy good draft.
Yeah.
I had something to say there, but now I forget. Oh, someone in the chat said the Oilers were after Joel Eriksson-Ek as well.
They were.
Could have had
Oh, yeah.
every player on the Minnesota
They
Wild
were.
if we had
Yeah,
better
see,
scouting.
they
It was
wanted
Eck over.
Barzell, if they kept that pick, they would have
Oh, it would have been
Eriksson.
Ekman Bars.
Yeah. Wow.
That's how they get you.
But all roads led to McDavid.
I normally pick an
That's
Eck.
not true in this case.
In that case, yeah.
Isn't that the same?
We picked
See,
McDavid
yeah.
that year.
We got him, and then we
That-
had a chance to build.
all
that's why
roads
the-
before they drafted McDavid led to McDavid.
Yeah, but that's why the Reinhardt trade is like the worst trade
Yeah.
in franchise history, because you had McDavid and then you blew it.
That's fair. I thought it was the year before.
Like,
Tyler
like,
Mueller-
within minutes.
Yeah. This doesn't quite tie into that, but Tyler Mulick had a take earlier where he was like, Tyler Wright was worse for this organization than Peter Pocklington. And I think that's probably true, because at least Peter Pocklington had some amount of run where you liked him.
Well, GM still has to approve the pick.
Yeah, but like part of what you can criticize a GM for is hiring dumbasses. So I think that's an element of this.
So when Jeff said before, we were talking about the 2021 draft and how the others didn't draft Wallstedt
Yeah.
or White Johnson, he said that draft said a lot about the amateur scouting. The Oilers have not had one player from that draft play a game in the NHL. And the only player that has is Shane LeChance, and he went to his dad's team.
Oh, my God.
So,
Oh my God. It's all good. It was 4 years ago.
yeah, that we didn't need
He
that
just
draft.
right off the draft.
This new guy, though, he's done a great job. What's his name? Rick Pracey?
Yeah.
He's been awesome. A lot of these prospects will actually play NHL games. Connor Clattenburg, a great example.
Yep.
5th round pick, already played 3 games in the league.
Already a success.
Already is 100%.
Smashing success. All right,
Yeah,
we need
yeah.
to wrap up.
I was going to say Dalen Wakely, also from that draft, named NCAA Rookie of the Week.
Ooh.
Or freshman, whatever they call it.
We need to wrap up the show with our Spotify comments for the day. Someone in the chat was asking about that. It's brought to you by the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament. We're going back this year, just a couple of months away, less than 2 months away, actually. Always one of my favorite weekends of the year. CHE Hockey, Tourism Jasper, Fairmont JPL put on an unbelievable event. We love being a part of it on the beautiful Lake Mildred. You're playing pond hockey in the middle of the mountains. It's an unbelievable weekend. Shout out to the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament, nationgear.ca to find out more info. And while you're there, I think you can also find out more info about our holiday party this year. I don't know if it's officially up yet or if it's not going to be on the site until tomorrow. It might not be on the site till tomorrow, but anyways, you can find out more.
Final
information.
details, yeah.
Yeah, final details coming through. Yeah. Aaron's got a Santa costume ready to go. What are we doing? Oh, I said Spotify comments. Jesus. Man,
This is from yesterday.
my bad. Yeah, this is from yesterday. 14 of them? Lord, we only have 6 minutes. So let's get through these. Daryl is in. Keep them until the wheels fall off. Clattenburg is the perfect remedy for a team with a double dose of the Stanley Cup final hangover. Brings life to the team, gives them something to rally around. In Clat, we trust.
Here, here.
Are you going to the game tonight?
No.
If anyone's going to the game tonight, please tell me if you see a Connor Clattenburg jersey.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Clatty's playing a good game in the role he's in. If he keeps up the intensity, he'll stay up for a while. Need the physicality to rub off on others. Cough, cough, Freddie. That one from Devin. Jesse Cross is in. Clattenburg needs to stay for now. He brings energy the team is lacking. I do think it's inevitable he gets sent down when Roslovic, Kapanen, and Philp are back. He'll stay over Philp, especially because he is one of the few guys who does not need to clear. Great story, though. Even if he gets sent down, won't be the last time we see him this season. Frederick is in, says Clattenburg should stay up till Christmas as long as he provides this energy. If he's still on the roster when I visit from Germany in March, that should be a good sign. So Frederick came in like 3 weeks ago and was like, hey, I'm debating coming to Edmonton in March because I really want to watch a game. He's an Oilers fan from Germany.
Is he coming with the Germans? Is he coming on the German crew?
Well, you should look at that. Go to nationgear.ca, Frederick, if you haven't booked already. We do have a trip package from Germany, March 27th to April 6th. But I did tell him, and I kind of said that you'd help me with this. I told him if he does do the trip, I'd take him to the game.
Okay, how do I help?
I don't know. Maybe I can get tickets. I was writing checks I couldn't cash.
I might take him to the game.
Yeah, you can take him to the game, then. That's fine. Chandler's in and says, I think Clattenburg will still be here by Christmas, in part because of the injuries, in part because his plays earned the opportunity. Brady, I hope he can hold his spot all year. He's noticeable every shift, tossing the body around. I agree with that. Statsman, Clattenburg didn't get scratched after he scored. Is Knobloch okay? Just saw this, thought it was fun. With the injury to Adam Fox, if it sinks the Rangers over the next couple of weeks, Quick, and no, we're not doing Jonathan Quick. One, he's not going to wave. He's not cup chasing. He's happy living in New York. He's an American with trade protection. Jonathan Quick doesn't want to come here to chase a ring. He's got like 3 of them already.
2.
He won one technically with Vegas.
I guess.
But that's what I mean. He doesn't want a ring chase. Like, he's got enough. Riley is in. Claddy gets the Hattie versus the Wild. If he gets a hat trick. He almost scored against Seattle, though.
Man, he's a factor.
Yeah. Steele is in and says, this idiot loves Clattenburg. Was raving about him after the rookie game when he fought twice and scored. If I had a concern that he might be giving us his playoff games, and I wonder what it looks like when he's a regular everyday guy. I get that line of thinking, too. Right? Like right now he's in survival mode. What happens 30 games from now? Can he keep this up? It's a good question.
Jay, you weren't here, but Tyler called everyone idiots, and now everyone calls themselves idiots.
The chats.
They want idiot merch now.
Yeah, they want like I'm an idiot merch. I don't know if we're allowed to do that.
It's a tough one to put on people.
It's an easy thing to do.
Alex says Ryan Wedding would be a cool Olympian to have on.
Next comment, Zoom call for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to dabble in those waters.
He's tough to find.
Clean is in, and this is so many inside jokes wrapped up in one. Longtime lady idiot from Bosnia here. I don't see any reason to send Clattenburg down over Lazar. Doesn't even shoot lasers, or Janmark in brackets derogatory. Keep him up over everybody who brings nothing or not given. That's so funny.
Been watching the show for a while.
Yeah, there was a Janmark derogatory. Okay.
You good over
You
there?
okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Let's wrap this up.
Fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Come on the nation vacation with us, by the way, nationgear.ca. How many more spots are left? Double occupancy starting at $2,400 gets you your flights. You're coming to the game with us. At the game, food and drink included as well.
Fancy tickets again.
Transportation to and from the airport in Vegas. All of it looks great. Vegas, March 24th to 27th, nationgear.ca. Double occupancy, only 8 left, starting at $2,400. Not bad. Couple of super chats and we'll wrap up. Oh, hit the wrong button. Couple of super chats and we'll wrap up. Northside Norm, stick tabs for the Oil Idiots Cup year. Matthias says, won't happen. How crazy would a Sid McDavid McKinnon line be at the Olympics? I don't think that's crazy. I think
It would be awesome.
down in the third, load him up.
Yeah.
Dayton is in. He's the one who went and bought the Lucky Draisaitl jersey. Last year, he said, or the year before, he went and bought a Draisaitl jersey, and then the team went on a heater. So he was trying to pick his spot for when he should buy his Draisaitl jersey this year. He said, my Lucky Draisaitl jersey replacement just showed up at the mall. Hot streak starts tonight.
Nice.
Giddy up. Thank you all for your donations to the Ben Stelter Foundation. Shout out to Jeff Marek, Louie DeBrusk. Jay, thanks for popping on today.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. Great to have you back.
Yeah, I want to see photos of those Clattenburg jerseys because I'm in the market.
Oh, yeah, that's a Jay jersey.
I'm in the market.
Right there.
Well, right now I got a Frederick jersey, so I don't know if I can do it right now.
People just ask.
I even got Crawford a Frederick jersey. I might have to get us matching Clattenburg jerseys.
Yeah. But on the kid one, maybe just clat on the back because it would be too long to
Clap attack.
All right, Aaron, pregame tonight, postgame from Dogpatch. Tell me more.
It's going to be a good one. I got Michael Menzies joining me for the first time ever. People, if you don't know who he is, you should be reading his pre-scout articles every single game day. But he's hilarious, and I'm just excited to hang out with the guy tonight. Should be a good one. Should be entertaining. 6 p.m. from Dogpatch. Boom.
Giddy up. Join Aaron for the game tonight from Dogpatch. That is a wrap on a game day edition of the program. New episode of ONR going to drop later on today as well. So we got ONR, we got pre-gaming, we got post-game with Aaron and Menzies, full slate of content. And yes, go read Menzies' pre-scout article up now at Oilersnation.com. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, everybody. We'll be back here tomorrow, noon Mountain. Oil up. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Everyday, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.